What's up, guys? Welcome back to Crackshot TV. Today we've got a special treat. We are reviewing the Vortex Venom pistol red dot sight, one of the OG red dot sights available on the market, and one that gets a lot of criticism because, quite frankly, people feel like Vortex just hasn't innovated very much in the last several years. So before we dig into that, though, let's go ahead and thank our channel sponsors, Mars Training Simulators.
My business is like a mullet. Crackshot TV is my passion project. It's like the party in the back. Mars Training Simulators is the business in the front that gets things done. We're developing simulators for competitive shooting sports like USPSA and Steel Challenge. Subscribe to Crackshot TV to follow our progress.
Alright, so the Vortex Venom, what's the scoop on this thing? So this red dot is actually one of the first red dots I ever purchased, and it's really lasted for quite a while. I actually have it on my competition gun, as you can see, the Canik TP9 SFX. Let's start with aesthetics first. So aesthetics are probably the least important feature of a red dot sight, but let's go ahead and go over that anyway. The Venom, as you can see, has a lot of Vortex branding on it. You can see Venom across the side. You got the Vortex logo up here, Vortex logo on the other side. On the front, it also says Vortex, I believe. Yep. So this red dot is basically a billboard for Vortex on a pistol, and it's okay as long as the thing can run all right. But I do knock it a little bit in terms of the branding. It's just a little bit loud for me. In terms of the optic itself, the optic has great clarity. The window is actually huge. You can see a lot of detail, as you can see here, and the dot itself is pretty crisp. My only complaint with it is that it's a little bit dim in daylight settings and very, very bright settings, and but it works great indoors. It's still easy enough to pick it up for my eyes, so I don't mind it, but there are dots that are a little bit brighter out there. All right, next is durability. Now, this thing has lasted me a really long time, and it's still running pretty strong. I haven't had issues with it losing zero, and the construction is pretty solid as well. Of course, Vortex has one of the best warranties in the industry and some of the best customer service, so I really don't think you have to worry about it from that standpoint when buying this red dot. Next is the mounting pattern. So the Vortex uses the Docter or Noblex mounting pattern, which is pretty common on a lot of sites. Obviously, a lot of aftermarket pistols come with plates or adapter plates for this pattern, and it's really easy to buy slides aftermarket as well that have that pattern also. So maybe not as prevalent as the RMR, but still pretty easy to find, and a lot of support from different pistol manufacturers for this. So thumbs up on the footprint. Let's talk about features. One of the best things about this red dot design-wise is that the battery compartment is located on the top of the red dot, meaning that if you replace the batteries, you don't necessarily have to re-zero the sight every single time. And that's a great feature. It's also especially important because some of the cons that we're going to go into. But I give Vortex a lot of props, as they're one of the first manufacturers that started putting the battery compartment somewhere that's accessible on the red dot. Let's talk about the turrets. The turrets have very audible click as you click through the different settings. I also like that this design is thin enough that you can turn the turrets using a spent shell casing. That's kind of a nice feature that we take for granted. Not every red dot has that. The push buttons on the device are very tactile, so it's really easy to adjust the different settings up and down. Okay, let's talk about cons of the sight. So one of the biggest complaints that people have had regarding Vortex is, and the Venom specifically, is its battery life. The battery life is rated between 300 and 1,500 hours, which is not great compared to other red dots currently on the market today. So not great on battery life. Another thing that we complain about a lot in regards to this red dot is that it has no shake-awake feature. So that's important, obviously, if you're going to conceal carry this gun every single day. Typically with shake-awake, as soon as the sensor inside of here detects that the weapon has moved, it's going to turn the red dot on automatically, which is a great feature for concealed carry. It makes sure that the battery life stays pretty good. The Vortex does not have that feature, unfortunately, so battery life is kind of an issue. I do find myself changing this a lot more frequently than I do on other sites, even though it has a 12-hour shutoff on it. So the other negative is the lack of reticle selection. Obviously, that's not very important. Most of us shoot it just with the dots. but I have to bring it up because there's competitors in the same price range for not that much more, like the Holosun 507C, for example, that has 3 reticle selection. So not a huge deal. Not a lot of optics have multiple reticle options today for pistol-mounted red dots, but I had to mention it anyways because some competitors do have the feature. So overall, Vortex, you do a good job. You get a thumbs up for this. The only thing that I would suggest is that if there are future iterations, really the shake awake would be the big thing. That is what keeps me from concealed carrying this optic, and that's why I carry a Holosun. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. You can't go wrong with this optic. Feel confident if you bought one, and if you're in the market, it really is a good option to consider.